Hi, superstars. It is time for English. We are on Unit 9, Week 3, The Wonders of Nature. Our essential question is, how can things in nature be used to make new things? We are going to watch a video about our natural resources. Let's watch.
Our natural resources. How can things in nature be used to make new things? Many things we use are made from natural resources. Trees are a natural resource. The wood that comes from trees is used to make houses, furniture, and paper. These construction workers use the wood from trees to build a building. Wool is a natural resource too. Sheep are covered with wool. People use the wool from sheep to make yarn. People can then use yarn to knit clothes. This woman might be knitting a hat, a scarf, or even a blanket. There are many different things you can make out of wool. What things do you use that are from nature?
Here are a few more things about our natural resources. Let's listen.
Weavers use plants to make baskets. Peanuts are cooked and mixed with other foods to make peanut butter. Clay is a type of soil. Clay is used to make pottery, like this vase.
This is a rhyme about something in nature that we can use to make a new thing. A peanut sat on a railroad track. A peanut sat on a railroad track. His heart was all aflutter. The 5:15 came rushing by. Toot, toot, peanut butter. The 5:15 is the train that comes at that time of day. Where's the peanut? Where do you think it is? It's on the railroad track. What will happen after the train rushes by? What's going to happen to that peanut? The peanut's going to get smashed, right? And what's going to happen? What is it going to turn into? It turns into peanut butter. So that is something that changed, right? It changed, the peanut changed into peanut butter. So we can use it in different ways. So that's what we're going to talk about this week. We will be reading to find out ways that things in nature can be used to make new things. Here are some words to know, our vocabulary words. Let's read the first one. Designs. I drew circle designs in my picture. Designs are patterns or shapes that decorate things such as plates, paper, and clothes. Create. To create is to make something. We can create a picture from twigs and leaves. Create. Natural resources. Water is a natural resource. Natural resources are things in nature that we can use. Weave. To weave means to lace together many strands of yarn into cloth, a blanket, or a rug. I use colored yarn to weave a scarf. Knowledge. I gained knowledge about the moon from a science book. Knowledge. Knowledge is what you know about a topic from understanding or study. Where. This is a high frequency word. This is the word where. Let's say it together. Where. Where do the roses grow? Where do the roses grow? Let's spell where. W-H-E-R-E. So let's write the word in the air as we say each letter. W-H-E-R-E. Where. Good job. Look. Another high frequency word. This is the word look. Look at the owl's home. Let's spell the word look. L-O-O-K. Let's write the word in the air as we say each letter. L-O-O-K. Look. All right, good job with your vocabulary. I want you to go back and listen to your vocabulary words, so that you can understand them, okay? So you can rewind, and I want you to listen to them. We are going to find out about things that are in nature that we can use to make new things. What are some things that you think you will learn can be made from things in nature? We're going to read this book, Bread Comes to Life. This is an informational text. Informational texts give facts about people, places, things, or events, and often has photographs that show real things. So let's start reading.
Bread comes to life. A garden of wheat and a loaf to eat. By George Levinson. Photography by Shmuel Thaler. Bread is the food we eat every day. So many kinds, so many ways. White bread, black bread, small bread, tall bread, thin bread, twin bread, dinner rolls, bread with holes, hard, day-old tough bread, soft, squishy fluff bread. Bread is toast. Bread is crumbs. Bread is pizza. Bread is buns. How is bread made? Where is it from? This baker makes his bread from scratch by sowing wheat in his backyard patch. Soon those seeds send down roots and sprout into shoots of bright green grass. The days pass, and that grass grows into sturdy blades, tall and straight, finely made with budding heads and bristly hair, gently waving in the air. When the crop is ripe and old, the tops are bowed and streaked with gold, and every head of wheat contains many tiny finished grains. Time to cut the golden field. Gather up the backyard yield. Stack up piles of sun-dried stalks. Rub them in a threshing box. It's the simple, old-time miller's craft of separating wheat from chaff. What's left are seeds, a hefty load, many times the number sowed. And each new grain of harvest wheat looks just like a loaf to eat. Now is the hour to grind those grains into whole wheat flour. With simple tools and easy rules, it's on with the show to make up some dough and bring fresh bread to life. Yeast, honey, water, flour, salt, oil, and muscle power. Dump it, thump it, dust it, knead it, squash it, stretch it, toss it. Set it aside to rest and rise. It grows and grows to twice the size. Punch it down, give it some shape. Let it rise again, put it in to bake. Slice it fresh. It's better than cake. Whatever the shape it finally takes, wherever the place it finally bakes, every day we are blessed with a mountain of bread. It's the staff of life. May all be fed.
Okay, remember when you read something or you're listening to something that does not make sense to you, you can go back and listen to it again. This is called rereading or re-listening. In this case, rereading can help you understand the text better. So we're going to go back and we're going to talk about some things in this story. Now, I want you to remember that a sentence always begins with a capital letter and the ending always has punctuation. So let's reread this. Bread is the food we eat every day. What's the first letter of this sentence? Capital B or uppercase B. Very good. And what is the ending punctuation? Yes, a period. Very good. Okay, let's reread this page. White bread, black bread, small bread, tall bread, thin bread, twin bread, dinner rolls, bread with holes, hard, day-old, tough bread, soft, squishy, fluff bread. Do you remember what an adjective is? A describing word, right? So can you find any adjectives that describe the bread here? What are some adjectives you see? White is an adjective. Black, small, tall. What are some more? Thin, twin, hard, day old, tough, soft, and squishy. Those are all adjectives. They're describing the bread. Let's reread this page. This baker makes his bread from scratch by sowing wheat in his backyard patch. Soon those seeds send down roots and sprout into shoots of bright green grass. So I read that the baker makes his bread from scratch. I'm going to pay close attention to the steps he uses to make bread. So first, he plants seeds and they grow. From scratch means from the very beginning, and sowing means planting. It doesn't mean sewing clothes, it means planting in this context. Let's reread this page to understand it better. The days pass and that grass grows into sturdy blades, tall and straight, finely made with budding heads and bristly hair, gently waving in the air. So the seeds that the baker planted have grown into tall plants. Blades are pieces of grass, and bristly means stiff, so they're hard to bend. Let's reread page 14 and 15. When the crop is ripe and old, the tops are bowed and streaked with gold, and every head of wheat contains many tiny finished grains. What stage of growing is the wheat in now? Do you think it's ripe and finished growing? Yes, it is. It's ready to be picked. How can you tell? Well, they use the words ripe and old and finished. The wheat plants, they changed from green to gold, and they are starting to bend over. All right, let's reread page 16. Time to cut the golden field, gather up the backyard yield, stack up piles of sun-dried stalks, rub them in a threshing box. It's the simple old-time miller's craft of separating wheat from chaff. So what is the baker doing on page 16? It looks like he's harvesting the wheat or cutting the wheat plants. What is the baker doing on page 17? He's using a tool to remove the wheat grains. A yield is a crop that has been picked, and a stalk is the main stem of the plant. All right, let's reread pages 20 and 21 so we can understand them better. Now is the hour to grind those grains into whole wheat flour. With simple tools and easy rules, it's on with the show to make up some dough and bring fresh bread to life. So what happens after the seeds grow? What does the baker do to them? Well, the wheat is cut. Then what does the baker do? He grinds the grains into flour. When he grinds the grains, that means he crushes it into small pieces. What ingredients does the baker use to make the dough? We can reread to help us remember. He puts in some yeast, honey, water, flour, salt and oil, and muscle power. After the baker made the flour, what did he do next? He used it to make dough, and he mixed and kneaded it. So here it says dump it, thump it, dust it, knead it, squash it, stretch it, toss it. So when they say dust, it means to sprinkle with flour, and knead means to press and squeeze the dough. What is the last step to make the bread? To put the dough in to bake. Here it says, set it aside to rest and rise. It grows and grows to twice the size. Punch it down, give it some shape. Let it rise again. Put it in to bake. Slice it fresh. It's better than cake. What details in this photograph show the bread is fresh? How can you tell? Well, the slice is falling off the loaf. It looks like he's just slicing it. And it's steaming. Do you see that steam coming off the warm bread? So it's telling you it just got out of the oven. So the photograph gives you that impression that it is fresh. I'm not sure what page 31 is saying, so I'm going to reread it. Whatever the shape it finally takes, wherever the place it finally bakes, every day we are blessed with a mountain of bread. It's the staff of life. May all be fed. The photograph shows a large pile of bread, and I read it's the staff of life. May all be fed. This means that bread is something people eat to live. Oh, I see now. This page is saying that bread is important to feed people. A mountain of bread is good because it feeds many people. All right, let's turn to page 105 in your English book, and let's answer this question. Bread comes to life. How does the author make the text and photographs fun? Draw or write clues. So you're going to draw some clues, or you're going to write clues using words. And then down below it says, the author makes them fun by, and then you're going to write, how does the author make them fun? So let's go back and look at the story so we can get some clues. Look at the photographs. How does the author make the text and photographs fun? Well, the author shows children posing with the bread in funny ways. The author also repeats the word bread. What different kinds of bread do you see on pages 6 and 7? I see white bread, black bread, small bread, tall bread, thin bread, twin bread, dinner rolls, and bread with holes. So how would you tell how the author was making this fun? You're supposed to draw or write clues. So look over here on these pages and you can get some clues. Look at all the different shapes of breads and what the kids are doing with it. One girl is using it like a baseball bat. The other one has it in front of her face. It looks like a smile. The other ones are posing with it. So look at these pictures and draw or write the clues that makes it funny. So the author makes them fun by what? So how does the author make them fun? He probably has them posing with the bread, holding the bread up. You see how they're looking at the bread with holes? They have it at their eye and they're looking through it. So I want you to write down how you think the author makes them fun by, and you write your answer, and then draw or write a picture. Now turn to page 106. Which words help you know what the wheat is like? Draw the wheat and use a word to label it. The wheat looks like, and you are going to write what the wheat looks like. So let's go back to our story and see if we can find the answer. On page 12 and 13, the author uses descriptive language. Which words help you understand what the wheat is like? Let's read it again. The days pass, and that grass grows into sturdy blades, tall and straight, finely made with budding heads and bristly hair, gently waving in the air. So which words help you understand what the wheat is like? The author uses words like sturdy blades, tall, straight, bristly hair, and gently waving. So you are going to draw the wheat and use a word to label it. There are many descriptive words that you can use on this page. And then down below it says, the wheat looks like, and you are going to write, what does the wheat look like? You have many clues on this page. I just read them for you. So you can pause this and look over this page and answer the question on page 106. Okay, superstars, until next time, have a great day. Bye.